That's so fascinating because that's one of the things that I was warned about years ago was don't lose weight too fast because you can actually make yourself sick. Your body's letting go of all these toxins. I've never heard the toxin named before, so I'm wondering if I wonder if these oxalates live in, you mentioned all these different places, but can they be in fat cells as well? And as these fat cells shrink, you can shed oxalic acid into the bloodstream.
Oxalate is known to be in the skin, and it's
Okay.
known to form these lipid complexes and live in fatty tissues, and these lipid complexes that are a slightly different style crystal than the one they're usually looking for. And I'm not sure that there's definitely some oxalate in fat. I mean, according to rat studies and studies like that, there's definitely some there. The
Okay.
bulk of it is maybe elsewhere, but it's one of many toxins that fat cells hold. So I think when you lose fat, you're not only, it's just a metabolic change is enough to release toxins like oxalate, not just from the fat cells. It's going to start trying to repair in general. If you're lowering your sugar and lowering your inflammation and your body's cleaning up and getting better and stronger and you're building muscle, you're stressing other tissues. You now can walk further and do more and exercise more, and those other tissues as well are going to start
Right.
dumping oxalate. So you may be losing the toluene and the solvents out of your fat cells and some oxalate, but also start dumping the oxalate that's in your hip joint and in your discs or in your teeth or face. And so it comes along with it. So you see things like hemorrhoids and other sort of symptoms on weight loss that show up that it's like, what is this? So new problems come up with weight loss, just like new problems come up when you go low oxalate, even if you don't have weight to lose. For me, I only had a weight problem when my feet were bad at Cornell. I had to leave Cornell for 4 years for foot surgery. And it turned out, I found out almost 30 years later that it was because of my oxalate problem, that my feet were bad, they weren't recovering well, they didn't recover from surgery, and I have had foot problems until I found a low oxalate diet at age 48, 5.5, 6 years ago. And so that inherent toxicity that we have, a big change in the diet, when your body starts healing and recovering from our weight problems, our sugar addiction, our toxic vegetables and toxic almond flour, is asking a lot of the body.
Right.
And it's like the body's ejecting a poison, and in the process, the surrounding cells get damaged, which incurs inflammation. And so it hurts when oxalates come out of the body. It can cause joint pain and inflammation and fatigue and backaches and malaise. And one way you can tell if you're switching to a low oxalate diet or a lower oxalate diet and your body's starting to, or maybe already is, if you're living on almond bread, it's simultaneously constantly getting rid of oxalate and collecting it.
Mm-hmm.
And when you stop eating the almond bread, it doesn't mean that you're low in oxalate because your body's so full of it. It's just now what's in your blood is more coming from your teeth and your bones and your fat than it is coming from your food. You're still high in it, and that can last a decade.